Have you ever been the black sheep of your family? You know, the one they look at with pity? The one they think is a total failure, while in reality, you are secretly running an empire? That has been my life for the past 10 years. My family thinks I'm a low-level consultant working for some no-name startup. They pity me. They make fun of me. And worst of all, my older brother, Tyler, has always used me as a stepping stone to make his own mediocre career look impressive. But everything changed at Tyler's wedding. He made the biggest mistake of his life when he decided to humiliate me in front of hundreds of guests, including the CEO of his own company. He didn't know that CEO was coming to the wedding to meet me. He didn't know that the tiny firm I worked for was actually the largest consulting group in the country. And the kicker, he didn't know I wasn't an employee. I was the owner. Today I'm going to tell you about the moment I destroyed my brother's ego and brought my entitled family to their knees. Buckle up, because this is going to be a satisfying ride. I stood in the ballroom of the Grand Plaza Hotel, trying my best to be invisible. My simple navy blue dress was a deliberate choice. I didn't want to stand out. I didn't want anyone asking questions. The room was dripping with money, crystal chandeliers, champagne towers, and guests shouting over each other to brag about their stock portfolios. This was Tyler's stage. He loved the flashiness. He needed it to cover up the fact that he was actually, well, barely average at his job. "Sarah, there you are." My mother's voice cut through the noise like a knife. She walked over, her eyes scanning my dress with disapproval. "Why aren't you mingling? People are asking about you. Although, I guess you don't have much to tell them, do you?" I took a sip of my drink to hide a smirk. "I'm fine, Mom. Consulting keeps me busy." She let out a dramatic sigh. "Busy isn't the same as successful, honey. Look at your brother, the youngest VP in the history of Sterling Industries, and marrying the daughter of a major shareholder. That is success." I almost laughed out loud. Sterling Industries? The company that is currently drowning in debt and has emailed me 5 times this week begging for a bailout meeting? If Mom knew I had ghosted their CEO 3 times because I didn't like his tone, she'd probably have a heart attack. But they didn't know. They thought I worked for a small startup called Aurora. They had no idea Aurora Consulting Group was valued at billions, and that I, Sarah Mitchell, was the founder and CEO. "Sarah!" Tyler's booming voice interrupted my thoughts. He strutted over, champagne in one hand, his new bride, Jessica, on his arm. Jessica was the definition of a mean girl grown up. Pretty, but vapid. "Still hiding in the corner, sis. Some things never change," Tyler sneered. Jessica giggled. "Oh, Tyler told me all about your little consulting gig. It's so cute that you're trying to be independent." Cute? I wanted to tell her that Cute just acquired her husband's biggest competitor yesterday, but I stayed silent. I remembered 15 years ago. When Tyler barely graduated college, Dad pulled every string to get him into Sterling. Me? I graduated top of my class at Harvard, but they told me to be realistic and get a safe desk job. "Someone has to do the grunt work," Tyler continued, raising his voice so the nearby guests could hear. "Poor Sarah. While we're out here building real careers, she's still chasing scraps. But hey, at least you're paying your own rent, right?" I touched the antique locket around my neck. My grandmother gave it to me. She was the only one who believed in me. "Success looks different to everyone, Tyler," I said softly. Sure. He waved his hand dismissively. "By the way, did you hear? Mr. Sterling, my CEO, is coming to the reception tonight. He never goes to employee weddings. But for me, he made an exception." He puffed out his chest. "I knew exactly why James Sterling was coming. He was desperate. He wanted to corner me to talk about the merger. I had been dodging his calls to see how desperate he would get. And now I knew. He was willing to go to a subordinate's wedding just for a chance to speak to me." "That's wonderful," I replied, hiding my smile behind my glass. "Try not to embarrass me, okay?" Tyler whispered, his voice dropping to a menacing hiss. "Just stay in this corner, This is a big night for my career." Suddenly, the room went quiet. James Sterling had arrived. James Sterling walked in with the air of a man running out of time. Silver hair, sharp suit, scanning the room like a hawk. Tyler immediately straightened his tie, grabbed Jessica's hand, and practically sprinted toward the door like a puppy seeing its master. But before Tyler could even open his mouth, James Sterling's eyes swept past him and locked onto me. His stressed face lit up. "Ms. Mitchell!" he shouted, walking briskly past the crowd, completely ignoring Tyler's outstretched hand. "I didn't expect to see you here." Tyler froze. His hand was still hanging in the air. Jessica looked confused. James Sterling walked right up to me and bowed his head respectfully. "Sarah, please. We've been trying to schedule a meeting with you all month. I never expected to have the honor of running into you at one of my employees' weddings." I shook his hand, feeling Tyler's horrified gaze burning a hole in my back. "Hello, James. Surprised? It's not every day you run into the CEO of Aurora Consulting at a random wedding." James looked at Tyler, then back at me. The realization slowly dawned on him. "Wait, Tyler is your brother?" "He is," I confirmed, smiling as I watched the color drain from my brother's face. Although, he didn't know anything about my position, until right now. The silence in the room was so heavy you could hear a pin drop. My mom dropped her purse. My dad's jaw hit the floor. And Tyler? He looked like he had just swallowed a live frog. The arrogance, the superiority, it all vanished, replaced by pure, unadulterated panic. He just realized he had spent the entire night mocking his boss's boss's boss. "Your brother?" James stammered. "But he said his sister worked for a small local firm." "That's what they think," I said, my voice projecting across the room, "and I never corrected them." Crash! The wine glass slipped from Jessica's hand and shattered on the floor. The sound broke the spell, and the room erupted into whispers. My mother rushed over, trying to salvage the situation with her gold medal gaslighting skills. "Oh, Sarah, honey, why didn't you tell us? We always knew you were talented." I looked at her coldly. "You never asked, Mom. You were too busy celebrating Tyler's VP title." James Sterling, still trying to process this, cleared his throat. "Ms. Mitchell, I know this is a family event, but perhaps we could spare 5 minutes to discuss the acquisition." "Acquisition?" Tyler squeaked, his voice cracking. He grabbed my arm. "What acquisition? Sarah, what is going on?" I brushed his hand off my arm. "The deal where Aurora Consulting saves Sterling Industries from bankruptcy. But," I turned to James, "after tonight, I'm reconsidering the terms." Tyler stumbled back. Jessica looked like she was going to faint. "But that means you'd be my boss?" Tyler whispered. "That's right, Tyler. Life is funny, isn't it?" My dad stepped in, his face red. "Now hold on! You can't come here and ruin your brother's wedding with these lies." James Sterling stepped forward, his voice booming. "I assure you, sir, your daughter is exactly who she says she is. Aurora Consulting has made more revenue in the last year than Sterling Industries has in the last 5 combined. She is a legend in the industry." The room gasped. This family drama was better than any reality TV show. "I think we should take this to a private room," I said, and led my shell-shocked family into a VIP lounge, leaving hundreds of guests gossiping behind us. Inside the room, the silence was deafening. "How dare you?" Tyler screamed. "This is my day. Couldn't you let me shine for once?" I laughed, a dry, humorless sound. "For once? Tyler, your entire life has been handed to you on a silver platter. Dad got you the job. Mom sold her jewelry for your MBA. You took my savings for your failed startup. Meanwhile, I built everything from zero." "We are family," Mom cried. "We were just trying to protect you from the harsh world." "No, Mom, you weren't protecting me. You were dismissing me. Every achievement I had was brushed aside because it didn't fit your narrative of Tyler being the golden child." Dad, ever the businessman, tried to pivot. Sarah, be rational. Now that you're successful, help the family. Your brother—" "My brother," I interrupted, looking Tyler dead in the eye, "is a liability." "What?" Tyler shouted. "My father-in-law is a shareholder. You can't touch me." "Your father-in-law called me last week begging me to buy the company to save his investment," I said coldly. "Sterling Industries is sinking, Tyler, and you are one of the anchors dragging it down. You lost 3 major clients this year alone." Tyler slumped into a chair. The truth finally hit him. "I tried to tell you guys, but nobody listened. You were too busy looking down on me. Well, look up now, because I'm at the top." I turned to leave. "Sarah, please," Mom called out. "We're family." I paused at the door. Family supports each other. Family listens. Family doesn't mock you to make themselves feel big. You weren't family when I was struggling. Don't claim to be family now that I've won. I walked out, leaving them in a pile of their own regret. The next few weeks were a storm. My phone blew up with apology texts from my parents and Tyler. I ignored them all. I had a company to run. The day of the Sterling Industries board meeting arrived. I walked into the conference room, not in a simple navy dress, but in a tailored black Armani power suit. Tyler was sitting at the far end of the table, looking pale and defeated. James Sterling led the meeting. The acquisition was approved. Aurora officially owned Sterling. After the meeting, I asked Tyler to stay behind. "Listen, Tyler," I said, sitting at the head of the table. "I'm not going to fire you immediately." His eyes lit up with hope. "However," I continued, "you are being demoted. You start over as a junior sales associate. Base salary, no special commission, no nepotism. If you want to stay, you have to prove you can actually do the job. Dad isn't here to save you anymore." Tyler lowered his head and whispered, "Thank you." For the first time in his life, the arrogance was gone. I walked out of the building and looked up at the blue sky. My parents were waiting in the lobby, wanting to approach me, but when they saw the look in my eyes, they stopped. They realized the little girl they used to push around was gone. The woman standing in front of them was a CEO who had conquered the world on her own. That night, I opened my grandmother's locket. Inside was a note she wrote years ago. "Success isn't about being recognized by others. It's about believing in yourself from the start." I learned that sometimes the best revenge isn't destroying people. It's letting them see you shine so bright that they can never ignore you again. My family underestimated me, and the price they paid was the brutal truth about themselves. What do you guys think? Was I too harsh on my brother, or did he need that reality check to grow up? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. If you enjoyed this story of success and sweet karma, please smash that like button, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Thanks for listening. And remember, don't let anyone define your worth. Build your own value. See you in the next video.